These little buttery friand cakes are beautifully coloured with matcha tea, which gives them a vibrant green colour. But also we've added a zest of lime in there, some crunchy almonds to give you a delicious little afternoon tea cake. Okay, so I've got my butter here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place this on a high heat so that it really starts to go a nutty brown. So we'll let that sizzle over there, whilst in the meantime, in my bowl here, I've got some lovely ground almonds. Now I'm not going to sieve these because I want that lovely texture. And also if you start to use almonds too much, then the natural oil comes out of the almonds and it makes them a little bit greasy. So in here we've got some plain flour. I've got some icing sugar. And we can just start to sift that through onto our ground almonds. And then we can add our beautiful matcha tea. That lovely flavour and aroma from the matcha tea, but we also, of course, get that lovely, lovely colour. We want a teaspoon of baking powder as well. You start to see the green matcha tea going through the plain flour, the icing sugar, the ground almonds. So you can see we've got that lovely, lovely colour in there now as well. So we can now add our lime zest into our dry ingredients. So we've just got a beautiful lime zest going in. And then when we've got all our lime zest in there, we can just stir that all around. We've got all our dry ingredients ready to go. Now what we need to do is we need to separate our egg whites from our egg yolks. And we want to keep the egg yolks, use them for mayonnaise. We want them just a little bit frothy so it lightens the cake. And then once we've got all our egg whites into there, just 6 egg whites, we can just gently start to whisk them up. Don't want them to be overly meringue-like. We just want them to be nice and frothy. And you can see in there just how loose those egg whites are. That's going to give us a lovely light and fluffy texture to our little friands. We can pour our egg whites in. And then we've got our lovely burnt noisette in here that we can just pour in as well. Mix that all together. It's starting to look like a classic little cake mixture that we can then pipe in to our little prepared moulds. And what we don't want to happen is for them to stick, and when they stick there's nothing worse. Well, there is things worse, but for the time being we'll just go with the fact that there is nothing worse than a cake sticking to your pan. Snip the end off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pipe into our moulds. And this makes about 24, so 2 of these. And then we've got some lovely little chopped almonds that we're going to sprinkle on the top. And that's going to really help with the beautiful texture as well. Sprinkle those on the top. And these add a lovely crunch and texture to the top of the friands. They're going to go in the oven for 10 minutes, just so they're lovely and golden around the outside, risen beautifully in the middle, and then always straight from the oven. But if you can hold on, they're going to be perfect for your afternoon tea. So our friands have had just over 10 minutes in the oven, which should mean that they're beautifully risen and golden on the outside. And yes, they are. See, we've got that lovely golden colour around the outside, and they've risen up beautifully. We just need to leave them for a minute before we can turn those out, and they'll be beautiful, just nice and warm. You could serve them after a dinner party, or serve them for your afternoon tea at home, and they are going to be perfect.